So we've now arrived. This is the place where I'm gonna record this episode. So we're gonna set up everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful studio. This is the place. And we're literally going to DIY everything because we are starting a podcast, you guys. I'm so excited. Finally, the news is out. So I've been preparing my podcast for a moment now, and let me tell you about this whole project. So since last year, I've been thinking about doing a podcast. I mean, for the longest time, to be honest, but last year, things started to be more and more tangible and realistic in my head. So I wanted to start to launch it in the beginning of fall, but around like September and October, I started to get super busy, and also some of the guests that I wanted on the podcast were super busy. So the people that I shared the news with and that I wanted to have in a podcast were all unavailable. And I was like, okay, it's cool. Maybe it's a timing thing. I need to be patient. And during that whole time, I was actually working into building the strategy of this podcast. What was the idea, who it was for, what are the topics that I was going to tackle. And I had the time to build all of that. And I even took the time to visit some studios around town. And guess what? I found the perfect production team. So the person has its own studio and everything is furnished. So we have mic, cameras, and the setup can be personalized. So I really, really love that. And the fact that it is coming with everything. I just have to book the place, sit my butt down, talk, and then I can leave. And then they also take care of the post-production. They are mixing the audio and sending me multiple versions of, the podcast, because it's going to be also a video podcast. So really what I want to do for that project is to bring you along the journey of me trying to make it real, coming to life, and document, how did I create this podcast? Because I think it's great for me to have some archive and things that I can go back to so I can remember what was my journey. But also for you guys, if you ever want to create anything for yourself so you can get inspired by the process. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll show you the behind the scenes for some of the episodes. It's not gonna be my first time going there, guys. I have actually already recorded a pilot episode by myself. This pilot episode is gonna be the introduction episode of the podcast. It was so stressful to do it. Honestly, it was my first time, so I don't know. My pace was kind of slow and calm. Like it almost feels like a meditation type of podcast, which is not. But it's just that I wanted to, not trip on my words and talk calmly. And it's at this very moment that shit started to hit the fan, because the studio that I was supposed to record it wasn't available anymore. Red alert, I don't have access to the studio I was supposed to record in. I'm in panic mode, you guys, because we're 2 days before the recording day and I still don't have a location to record. And honestly, I just don't want to push it back again, because we finally find a date where we're both available, me and my guest, and I don't want to get back to him and tell him, can we push back again? Honestly. So I really don't know. Things like that always happens to me, okay? That's my life on a regular. Nothing happens the way I want to. And I'm thinking right now. So yeah, I was stressing a lot, and I called a friend of mine who told me, girl, we don't care, just find a location. And she was trying to find a location with me, and my husband also was telling me how we were having all of the materials, so technically we could produce ourselves. So after sending 7 or 8 DMs and emails, we finally found a solution. So it's crazy late at night. We did some tests with cameras, lighting, everything. We have maybe a mic problem, which scares me even more. And that's a podcast, so it's very important that the audio is perfect. So my husband was trying to help me because we have few mics, but it was like, yeah, it's too low. It's not gonna work. I can improve it in the post-production, but it's not gonna be enough. So We're trying to think, but I really don't know, you guys. That is the stressful part because honestly, I have other things to do. And I'm prioritizing my client's project. I have one of my clients doing a launch and I'm actually building her sales page. That will be maybe on another video for you guys. And at the same time, I need to think about my own content. That's the struggle, okay? And things are not happening the way I thought they would. So I need to come up with a solution. So we'll test tomorrow again and see. I have so many things in my mind. So finally, I've made a decision. We are shooting in a studio. So normally the studio is a photo studio. So we are going to bring all of our material, lighting, cameras, mic, tripod. And I realized that we were missing a tripod for one of the main cameras. So what I had to do is to go downtown to the store and make sure to rent a tripod. We've now arrived at the Luma Loft. This is the place where I'm gonna record this episode. So we're gonna set up everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful studio. And we're literally going to DIY everything because I couldn't find another place, unfortunately. But I think that this studio is enough. So I'm gonna set everything up. So the podcast is for every entrepreneurs and creators, and we'll talk about topics that are all in between digital marketing, branding, and also anything that is related to lifestyle entrepreneurship. It will be anything related to my guests' expertise and also experiences and also mine. And some of the episode will be more chill and relaxed, and maybe we'll talk about topics that are more lifestyle related when it comes to entrepreneurships. So for example, I'm an immigrant, born and raised in France, but live in Canada now. So what have been my experience of opening and starting a business in Canada? What has been my experience, I don't know, with difficult clients or things like that, that really are conversation that most of the time we have in between us entrepreneurs and the behind the scenes. And I really want to do that because first of all, I've been inspired by so many conversations that I had with entrepreneurs that I know that are, you know, acquaintances or friends of mine. And we had so many deep conversations when it comes to the reality of money, the lifestyle part of business, the dealing with clients, the processes and the systems, and so many things in between that are real and relatable to our reality. And I think that those conversations really deserves a platform to be shared because I'm pretty sure that you are going to relate to those, you know, conversations or knowledge that we will be sharing. So I'm really excited for that. And also I really feel like podcasting is a beautiful medium because I was trying to find a way to do more collaboration with some of my peers out there that I know of. And I feel like sometimes it's not giving enough substance to just share a post on Instagram or, you know, just do a live on Instagram that will die and nobody from 2 months from now will see. I think it's more impactful when it's a YouTube video or a podcast episode because the content can live longer. I'm gonna leave you on this first preview of the podcast with Thierry, who was my first guest. And if I have one message to share with you guys that I want you to keep is whatever, if you have a project in your life or you're building something with your business, just do it. Do it ugly, do it messy, but just do it. Perfection will come with time. It will come with practice. Do not let, the external elements that are coming your way stopping you from doing it. And that's really why I wanted to document my journey. As you can see, the behind the scene is actually not that smooth and glamorous and perfect, but still I wanted, to just go full on and create that project. So obviously, thank God I have a support system. I have amazing friends and amazing husband that was there for me to help me. But I want you to know that whatever you have in heart, it is valid and it is worth, spending your time and working hard for it. So just do it. Do not abandon. Do not stop just because you feel, not motivated, because you feel like maybe it's not the right time and you want things to be aligned. Nothing will be ever aligned perfectly. So you really don't have to wait until you are ready. You will be ready by doing the thing. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoy this type of content. Leave me a thumbs up if you have liked it. Subscribe to the channel. And as for me, I will see you on the next video. Bye.